Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George, or all George. So happy Sunday. We're about to start a new week. And this week is important because we're going to get the very first CPI inflation data read. And it'll definitely sway markets one way or another. Can it break Bitcoin? Can it catapult it? What about the U.S. market in general? Let's talk about this. But this is not the only thing. There's other factors at play too. So let's get started. Welcome, guys. Like I said, happy Sunday. Right now, crypto is in green. Entire market cap is up 0.61%. There's some movers. I've noticed that Cardano is starting to make some moves, up almost 5%. I also noticed that Cosmos starting to come up 10% for the week. These are fantastic things. Slowly, but Bitcoin is still below 17,000. But that may change this week, of course. So, a lot of stuff happening. CPI comes out on Thursday, and then you have other things like jobless claims, consumer sentiment, but that's not all, because before the CPI reading, we're also going to get this guy right here, Powell. He's going to be speaking. He's going to be speaking on Tuesday at 9 a.m. So, and then we have another FOMC meeting speaking on Thursday, right when the CPI data gets released. So there's a lot of stuff at play this week. I don't know why Powell has to speak before the CPI data. Really, he can't contribute or or share any additional information until he sees this, right? So CPI will come out right now. It's anticipated, and I don't know who's making these estimates, but someone is, that the overall year-to-year inflation will drop from 7.1% down to 6.6%. That's a huge drop. If we get 6.6% in line, or it goes below, let's say we get 6.5% or 6.4% or something like that, where we come in better and where CPI goes lower than expected, then wow, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be absolutely amazing, because that means whatever Powell has been doing is working, and overall macro conditions are improving with supply chain and energy costs, right? Those are improving, and then, that means we're going in the right direction. And even though the wages and labor force are still high and strong, Powell will probably be forced to relax on his stance because inflation is going down so much, right? Also, core inflation. I believe this will be the very first time we can see core inflation go down. I remember all the other CPI data reveals in 2022, every single one showed core inflation going up. Even the very last one we had in December, I believe, showed, which measures November, that also showed core inflation going up, but slower than expected. I remember at that time it was expected to be like 6.1% or something like that, or 6.2, and it actually went up to 6. But we may be seeing a reversal to 5.7, which is great, which is absolutely great. So these are things that will definitely make or break markets this week. CPI, inflation, and core inflation, absolutely huge. And then let's see if Powell himself says anything on Tuesday. Of course, he comes out and says, you know what, we anticipate inflation going down. This next reading, we're going to be a little bit more dovish. We're not going to rate hikes as much as before. If he says anything like that, okay, anything that's positive and dovish will also send markets up. So, looking forward to it. Now, besides all this economic stuff, or I should say inflation stuff, we do have a lot of earnings, specifically the banks and BlackRock. So you have JP Morgan and Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo. We're going to see the banks are struggling, or the banks are still making money hand over fist. I don't know, but we'll see. And that could also affect markets this week. Also, BlackRock, of course, right? I did a big video yesterday warning you guys about how BlackRock is starting to buy Bitcoin, and they could be buying a lot more in the future, and there's not a whole lot left for the rest of us if that happens. But anyways, they're going to be reporting And then you see Taiwan Semiconductor, which is a big one, TMMC, and then Delta Airlines and a few others. But I think the banks could, depending on how their earnings are, if it's like catastrophically bad, that will affect markets. But if they're like a little bit below expectations or come in line with expectation, I don't think it's going to do much. Not going to do much. But as for Bitcoin itself, well, Bitcoin volatility has hit historic lows. We know this because Bitcoin has been stuck right around here, the 16.6 to 16.9 for a long time. And even overall, if you zoom out a little bit, we've been stuck around 17,000 even longer. And then you stretch it out even more, we've been under 20,000 for a long time. I mean, honestly, we are at that point where, again, we're at a make or break it moment, right? It's one of those times where volatility is so low, you know something big is around the corner. Something big. There's going to be a big movement, right? It's all this pent-up energy that's about to be released. So we could definitely see Bitcoin make a big swing upwards or a big swing downwards, although I don't think the latter's in the works. Unless, and I've said this before, unless we see some other major catastrophe happen, either in the crypto space or on the macro scale, I don't see us breaking under. That's why I see us getting ready to break above. And the CPI data reveal this Thursday could definitely do that. If the entire market explodes upwards and Wall Street investors are feeling like, you know what, rates are going to start stopping, going higher. You know, the Fed is going to be less hawkish, right? That will bring the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on the sidelines back into the space, not just crypto, but just entire space. That could definitely release the pent-up pressure upwards in a good way. So there's that to look forward to. Right now, of course, if you're measuring our progress to the next halving event, we're about the same point as the last two cycles when we have formed bottom and it was very, very boring. Volatility was low and that pent-up energy blew up and then we started heading higher. We're at that same point right now during this cycle versus the previous two cycles leading up to the halving event in March of 2024. So we have that working for us right now too. And of course, there's other stuff. You know, looking at the lows based on oversold levels, like on, for example, RSI, right? You could see it correlates basically almost to the T. It almost, if you look at a bottom, it like almost correlates exactly to the halving progress. But you could see going back to previous times, previous cycles, 2012, 2015, 2019, and where we are now. So it's looking good. It's looking like we are on track. We're on track. Also, something that's good too is Will Komet posted this that, you know, some of the smaller miners, they had no choice but to sell recently. And some of this could be due to like Core Scientific and others that went bankrupt. But you could see that selling from the miners, at least their net positions, have turned from deep red into the green. Now, the bigger miners have not sold. Their quarter report said so. They have been holding, and not only that, they have been increasing their hash power. But some of the smaller miners, the ones that obviously couldn't survive with lower prices, or they were affected somehow by one of the crypto companies going under, that's a different story for them. But overall, now we're seeing the green. They are no man, I can't talk this morning, excuse me. They can they no longer need to sell, and then this is also good in terms of helping Bitcoin break out of our current low levels. But overall, just know that you're not too late. I feel like many people feel like we're in the late majority stage, or we're heading into the lagger stage. There's a lot of naysayers out there. There's a lot of people think that, again, this is towards the end of Bitcoin. This is all that Bitcoin will ever be, right? We're so far from that. We're so far from that. Bitcoin has only hit 14 years old, barely a teenager, And there's no doubt the whole world is transitioning to decentralization, Web 3.0, and beyond that, blockchain ledgers, even DeFi, even using DEXs, liquidity pools. I mean, there's so much stuff that we haven't even touched upon yet. We are still, I would say you could almost argue we're still in the innovator stage. We're not even in early adopter stage, although we're probably at the very start of that, right? So we are still very, very early. And then outside of that, some crypto news. I don't know what to think about this, but Fox Business host slams XRP fans as conspiracy theorists. I don't know what to think about it. There are a lot of XRP guys throwing out a lot of conspiracies left and right, and Charles Gasbarino says the XRP community needs to grow up. It's coming across as conspiracy theorists and children. And then Charles Hoskinson responded to that by saying no comment. So I don't know what that means exactly. You decide. Is Charles agreeing or not agreeing? Why does he have to even comment by saying no comment? I don't know. Well, this isn't good. Solana Foundation's RPC endpoints go offline. They were applying some new update or new patch or something, and the ones that they were controlling went offline, but the overall chain were still able to produce new blocks because there were other endpoints not controlled by Solana that was still working, but still not a good look whenever something goes down. And this is due to upgrade of some sorts. So yeah, a bug in the test release 1.14. Not sure why they didn't test that before deploying. Again, not good for Solana. And then lastly, SBF, charitable donations. I guess he had this other charity called Future Fund, and he's donated up to 160 million to 110 nonprofit organizations, including biotech startups, university researchers, and all this stuff. So now, the courts are going to try to get that back, including some of the donations also to political people, right? So they're going to try to recoup all that. I guess it's according to law that they have the ability to do so. I don't know what would happen if those parties already spent it. But anyways, there's that as well. All right. That is pretty much it. We got a lot to look forward to. A lot to look forward to this coming week, right? And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. All right, let's do some Q&A. Utero says inflation is still going up. It's going up at a slower pace. It's nothing to do with their policies. I don't know what policies you're talking about. Are you talking about like increasing rates? No, inflation is going down with this latest report, this latest estimate, if it's true. So we will see. Overall, year-to-year inflation, CPI, has been going down for the last two readings. Core inflation has been going up, but this one could be going down. On Twitch, good morning. Man, I can't even pronounce that. We briefly touched 17K BTC a moment ago. Really? Did I miss that? Well, that's good. Let's see if we can permanently break it and hold above. All right, let's see here. People are talking about Gala. I covered them already. You know, they bought some mobile gaming company and acquired about 20 million customers. And then also they're hinting at coin burning with usage of Gala token within the games. So I think that's why they're going up. I didn't see how high they went today. 70%. That's good. It's a good jump. Well, obviously they're still way off from their previous high, but I've told you guys I do think that Gala is the premier gaming platform, and I think they have a really good shot of coming back strong. All right, scrolling through here. Banks will always make money gouging the poor with late fees, low balance fees, over limit fees, 24% interest. Well, yes, I agree with you. There's way too many fees. So Mana engine moving. What's the interest gaming? I'm not sure what your question is. You're probably asking why they're moving. It's probably because Gala is moving, and people are associating that gaming projects may be going up. You know, maybe something like that. But I haven't heard much about engine recently. They've been kind of quiet. And Mana, same thing too. I haven't heard anything about new brands coming in or anything like that. Do I hold on NFTs? Yes, a couple from other side. The metaverse play from Yuga Labs. Still waiting for that to kick off. So that and then various ones that people have sent me. I'm 100x long. According to Ben, what are my chances? Not good. When you're doing 100x, you will get liquidated no matter what. So if you make any money, get out immediately or you will be liquidated as soon as it just dips down a little bit. Gala's on Ethereum. How does that make sense for gaming and ETH gas? I don't know what you're asking. I mean, you're still paying ETH, right? But they're trying to make it so that you can use Gala, you know, like when you're paying for in-game items or something like that, or you're making transactions, I don't know, through the NFT store, you know, stuff like that. That's where like it's rumored that they may do burning when you do stuff like that. But if you're, I don't know if that's what you're asking, but ETH is still the primary driver of transactions because it is on top of Ethereum. Instead of DCA, why don't you buy NFT every week? That would be fun. No, not really. No, it wouldn't be fun. Have we been following the progress of Origin Trail? Lots happening. No, unfortunately, I have not. Do I have a big new bottle of Jameson to drink? No, I don't drink Jameson anymore. I've moved on. I've elevated myself to Blue Label only. But no, I haven't been drinking much recently. A few beers here and there. That's about it. A few seltzers. FTX attempting to recover millions donated to charity. Yeah, I did cover that. I don't know. I don't know how successful they will be at this because of those companies already spent it. I don't know how they get it back. And it would suck if they spent it and they're still forced to give it back because it's not due to, I don't know. They might not have been aware of anything that was going on at FTX. So, I don't know. Stoned out. Appreciate it. So much resistance at 70K. That is true. I definitely think there's a big stand by the bears at where we are, like right around 17K. I mean, if you just zoom out a little bit, we've been here for a while. We've been here for a while since November, right? Basically no movement. And if you zoom out after that, we were around 19-20K for 6 months, right? So volatility is really, really, really low, really low. That's why I said I think there's a pent-up energy that's about to explode. V-Hunt, yes. There's a lot of tribalism in crypto, just like sports. Probably more so because of the money involved, because people are holding on bags. Are you DCA into alts or just ETH and BTC, waiting for alts to get hammered a bit more? No, everything. Everything. Bollinger Bands must be squeezing. I don't think I have Bollinger Bands on here. Yeah, I don't have that up. Just curious. On a daily scale, here's moving averages. 25, 50, 100, 200. Ooh, you could see a little crossover here. So that's pretty positive. The next resistance will probably be right around here. Yeah, 18,000, it makes sense. And the one after that, right around 20,000. Yeah, those are some of our previous marks. Rapid Transit, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How do you think Christmas season will impact the numbers next week? You mean for CPI? I don't think it's going to affect it at all. It might affect it with consumer sentiment maybe, but I don't even think that until we get like retail sales or retail readings, we're probably not going to see the results I just don't think it's going to affect it. I mean, CPI is CPI, so we will see, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sailor is silent at the moment. No, Sailor has been tweeting still. Been doing a lot of tweeting. There we go, 3 hours to go. Bitcoin is the future. I'm not sure where he's coming up with these anymore. Well, I guess this guy right here. I don't even know how that works. it shows, it gives credits to the people, or you could define that. I'm not even sure how, that's a new feature. Anyways. And then he still has his Sailor Academy. Here's another picture. And then this. I mean, he's still tweeting out a lot. Here's another picture. He's been tweeting mostly pictures. Here's another picture. AI generated pictures? Maybe. Well, I don't know. These are all from different artists. Are you still long on ETH like Vitalik? Yes. Yes, I am. I think Ethereum is still in a really good spot. They're still the leader by far. You look at their new issuance. You know, it's very bullish. The fact that they have only issued like 4,000 ETH so far since moving to proof of stake, versus 1.4 million ETH. I mean, that's incredible, right? And they're still leading the space in so many things. And all innovations start with Ethereum. So yes, I'm still very bullish on Ethereum. If I had to go all in on one token other than ETH and Bitcoin, what would be your non-financial pick be? I don't know. That would be tough. I honestly don't know. Probably Polygon, to be honest. Probably Polygon. Yeah. The way Polygon is moving right now, with as much adoption they have, you know, if one day, let's say in 5 years, Polygon was at number 3 right behind Ethereum, that would not surprise me one bit. So, yeah, that's my answer. If I tried the new Civic or new Corolla, I have tested the new Civic. I'm not a big fan of it. I actually think the old Civic may be a little more exciting, and there's more variety, because you could get, you know, stick shift option. You could have gotten the coupe. There's just more options, and the new one, there's very little of, and it didn't really get any better, to be honest. The new generation. I have not tried a new Corolla. Corollas have never been. I've never been a big fan of Corollas. Is Binance too big and centralized? Well, I do think they are very big. Is it too big? I don't know. Is it too centralized? Yes, it is definitely centralized for sure. The exchange is centralized, right? But I think this time, like, during these bad times, you definitely want leadership, right? You definitely want capable leaders that know what they're doing, and that isn't, you know, making bad moves and crashing their exchanges or projects, right? So CZ, I think, has proven that. But there's a lot of scrutiny around how big they are and their involvement in the space and some of their ties and stuff like that. Yeah, but luckily, we do have some good guys left, right? I do think the good guys like Coinbase and Binance, luckily we do have some good exchanges out there, because if they were all collapsing like FTX, the space would be set back for another decade, and we don't want that. All cars built after '09 are poop on wheels. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, Billy Bob. There's a lot of cars built pre-'09 that are poop on wheels, too. Sean Walker, no, I'm not. I don't know why you would be asking that. I've said that a while. Or maybe you haven't tuned in for a while. No, I'm not. This is irritating. Have dry powder on the side, waiting for a dump, yet it pumps. And then why? What? You retracted it. All right. I'll let you guys go. Overall, we're moving in the right direction right now. But this week will be interesting. Not a whole lot happening on Monday, but starting from Tuesday, starting from Powell's speech, leading up to Thursday, when the CPI data comes out, it's going to be a huge week. Huge week. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Tonight I'll have a weekly recap video for you guys. And but I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.